what happened on the stage at MetLife Stadium during Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour Night 46. RAYE stepped into the spotlight and performed, "Where is My Husband?" And almost immediately, the moment started getting people talking. Was it simply another powerful performance from one of the most exciting voices in pop music? Or was there something more personal hidden inside the way she delivered those words? For a moment, the atmosphere inside New Jersey felt different. The lights, the massive crowd, the energy surrounding Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour. Everything was already operating at full speed. But when RAYE performed, "Where is My Husband?" attention suddenly shifted toward the lyrics, the delivery, and the meaning behind the song. And that is exactly where this story becomes interesting. Before we break down why this performance is creating so much curiosity, make sure you stay until the end, because there is an important detail that changes how this moment should be viewed. If you love Bruno Mars, RAYE, live music, celebrity performances, and the romantic tour, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Do you think RAYE was simply performing the song? Or did the moment feel unusually personal? RAYE has already established herself as an artist capable of turning a live stage into something deeply emotional. Her voice can move from intimate and vulnerable to explosive within seconds. And "Where is My Husband?" is exactly the kind of song that can create a reaction in a huge stadium. Now place that performance inside Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour. That changes the atmosphere completely. Night 46 at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, was already a major moment in Bruno Mars' 2026 touring story. The Romantic Tour has become one of the biggest talking points in live music, bringing Bruno Mars back to massive stadium stages and giving audiences a combination of nostalgia, new music, choreography, musicianship, and surprise moments. But RAYE's appearance added another layer. The crowd was not simply watching another opening performance. They were watching an artist with a completely different musical identity share the same night with Bruno Mars. And when she performed, "Where is My Husband?" the title alone was enough to grab attention. Where is my husband? Those words sound like a question. But in music, a question does not always require an answer. Sometimes the question is the performance. Sometimes the emotion behind the question is the entire point. And that distinction is important because online reactions can quickly transform a powerful lyric into a celebrity mystery. The moment RAYE delivered the song at MetLife Stadium, viewers naturally began asking questions. Was she joking? Was she being playful? Was she simply embodying the character of the song? Was the performance connected to anything happening backstage? Or was the audience simply witnessing RAYE doing what she does best? Taking a song and making thousands of people feel like the lyrics are happening directly in front of them? There is no confirmed evidence from this performance alone that the song was a hidden message directed at Bruno Mars, another celebrity, or anyone specifically connected to the tour. And that is where the story needs to slow down. Because sometimes the most interesting part of a viral moment is not what we know. It is what people think they saw. RAYE performing "Where is My Husband?" at Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour created exactly that kind of atmosphere. One lyric, one performance, one enormous stadium, and suddenly, thousands of people were interpreting the moment through their own perspective. That is the power of live music. A studio recording gives you the same performance every time. A stadium performance does not. The crowd changes. The artist changes. The atmosphere changes. And sometimes, even a familiar song can suddenly feel completely different. That is especially true when an artist performs in front of tens of thousands of people. At MetLife Stadium, RAYE was not performing inside a small club where every facial expression could be studied from a few meters away. She was performing inside one of the largest venues in the New York and New Jersey area, surrounded by a massive audience and the production scale of Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour. That scale matters. The lighting becomes part of the story. The camera angles become part of the story. The crowd reaction becomes part of the story. And suddenly, a line from a song can become a headline. RAYE performs "Where is My Husband?" at Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour. That headline is enough to make people curious. But curiosity is not the same thing as confirmation. And this is where the Night 46 moment becomes more fascinating. RAYE is an artist who understands theatricality. Her performances often blur the line between singing a song and acting out an emotion. She can take a phrase that might sound humorous in isolation and transform it into something dramatic, sarcastic, emotional, or completely outrageous depending on the atmosphere. That makes "Where is my husband?" particularly effective on a stadium stage. Imagine thousands of people hearing that phrase at once. The audience knows the title. The audience understands the joke. But at the same time, the words create an immediate question. Who is she talking about? And that is exactly what makes the performance so shareable. People clip the moment. People replay the moment. People focus on her expression. People look at the crowd. People search for context. And then social media does what social media always does. It starts building theories. But here is the important part. A viral theory is not automatically a fact. There is a huge difference between saying, "Fans found this moment interesting," and saying, "RAYE was sending a secret message to someone." The first statement describes the reaction. The second requires evidence. And as of this performance, the safer interpretation is that RAYE was delivering her song as part of the concert experience. Still, that does not make the moment boring. In fact, it makes it more interesting, because RAYE did not need a secret message to capture attention. She already had the stage. She already had the song. She already had the crowd. And she already had the personality to turn a few words into a massive audience reaction. That is what makes a great live performer different from someone simply reproducing a studio recording. A great live performer creates moments. And Night 46 gave RAYE another one. The timing was also significant. Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour has developed its own rhythm. Every night has its familiar elements, but fans have learned that the atmosphere can change from one show to the next. Different guests, different crowd reactions, different visual moments, different interactions. And sometimes, a single performance becomes the thing everyone remembers. At MetLife Stadium, that conversation naturally included RAYE. Her presence gave the show another musical dimension. Bruno Mars represents one side of modern pop entertainment. Polished showmanship, live musicianship, choreography, funk, soul, R&B, and decades of classic influences. RAYE brings something different. Her music often feels confessional, raw, theatrical, and emotionally direct. Put those two artistic worlds on the same night, and the contrast itself becomes part of the attraction. This is why RAYE's performance mattered. It was not simply about the title of one song. It was about how a different artist entered the world of the Romantic Tour and made the stage feel like her own. And when she reached, "Where is my husband?" the audience reaction became another piece of the performance. This is where we have to zoom in on the phrase itself. "Where is my husband?" can be funny, can be dramatic, can be romantic, can be frustrated, can even sound like a theatrical cry for help. The meaning depends on how the artist delivers it. That is why body language matters so much in a live performance. A facial expression can turn a lyric into comedy. A pause can turn it into suspense. A vocal change can turn it into heartbreak. A crowd response can turn it into a viral moment. And RAYE knows how to use those tools. That is why fans immediately started looking deeper. Was there something special happening? Or was the audience simply reacting to a performer who knows exactly how to create a memorable moment? The answer may be much simpler than the internet wants it to be. It may simply be music. But sometimes, just music is more powerful than people realize. Music does not need a hidden celebrity relationship to become emotional. It does not need a secret romance. It does not need a backstage mystery. Sometimes a song works because thousands of people recognize a feeling at the same time. And that is what makes live concerts so powerful. For a few minutes, a stadium becomes one giant emotional room. People who have never met each other are singing the same words. They laugh at the same moment. They scream at the same moment. They hold up their phones at the same moment. And they remember the same moment when they go home. That is exactly how concert history is created. And the Romantic Tour has produced plenty of those moments. Bruno Mars has built his reputation around live entertainment. His shows are not simply concerts. They are carefully constructed experiences designed around musicianship, choreography, visual storytelling, audience interaction, and surprise. So when RAYE appeared on the same stage, expectations were naturally high. The question was not whether she could sing. That part was already obvious. The question was whether she could command a stadium audience. And Night 46 offered a strong answer. Yes, she could. Even before the viral discussion around, "Where is my husband?" RAYE had already become one of the most compelling contemporary performers to watch. Her ability to move between vulnerability and confidence makes her especially effective in a live setting. 1 second, the performance can feel intimate. The next, it can feel enormous. That contrast is exactly what keeps audiences engaged. And that is also why the husband moment should not automatically be interpreted as a literal announcement. Artists frequently use exaggerated language in songs. They create characters. They explore fictional situations. They turn everyday emotions into theatrical moments. A lyric can sound personal without being a direct statement about the artist's private life. That distinction is particularly important when celebrities perform songs that become viral online. Once a short clip leaves the stadium, the context can disappear. A 10-second video can make a moment look completely different from the full performance. A reaction can become a headline. A headline can become a theory. And a theory can eventually be repeated as if it were confirmed information. That is why this particular Night 46 moment deserves a little more perspective. There is something special about it. But special does not necessarily mean secret. The special part may simply be the chemistry between the artist, the song, the crowd, and the stage. And there is another reason this performance stands out. RAYE was performing inside a Bruno Mars environment. That means the audience was already highly energized. These were not people sitting quietly waiting for background music. They were there for a major stadium concert. They were already emotionally invested. So when RAYE delivered a line as instantly recognizable as, "Where is my husband?" the reaction had nowhere to go but up. That is how viral concert moments happen. It does not always require a planned stunt. Sometimes the combination of timing and audience energy is enough. And if you look at the bigger picture, Night 46 represents another chapter in the continuing story of the Romantic Tour. Bruno Mars has spent this tour bringing together established hits, newer material, special guests, and unexpected moments. Every stop becomes part of a larger narrative. MetLife Stadium was already a major location. New Jersey added its own energy, and RAYE brought a performance that gave fans something else to talk about. That is the real takeaway. Not that there is necessarily a secret message. Not that the song confirms a relationship. Not that RAYE was definitely talking about someone backstage. None of those conclusions should be treated as confirmed without evidence. The real story is that RAYE performed a song with a provocative title on a massive Bruno Mars stage, and the performance immediately created curiosity. And honestly, that is enough, because the best concert moments often leave people asking questions. What did she mean? Why did she deliver it that way? Why did the crowd react so loudly? Why did everyone suddenly start talking about it? Those questions are part of the entertainment. And now comes the moment many viewers may have been waiting for. Was it just music? Based on what can actually be established from the performance, the most responsible answer is yes, it was a musical performance. But was there something special about it? Absolutely. The special part was the performance itself. RAYE took a song that already carries an instantly attention-grabbing phrase and placed it inside one of the biggest concert environments imaginable. She transformed a song into a stadium moment. And once that happened, the audience did the rest. They reacted. They recorded. They shared. They speculated. And suddenly, "Where is my husband?" became one of the phrases people associated with RAYE's appearance at Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour Night 46. That is the magic and danger of modern concert culture. A single moment can travel around the world before the performer has even left the stage. A crowd reaction in New Jersey can become a trending conversation thousands of miles away. A lyric can become a meme. A performance can become a headline. And an innocent theatrical moment can suddenly be examined for hidden meaning. But perhaps the most satisfying conclusion is also the simplest one. RAYE did not need a mystery man. She did not need a secret celebrity romance. She did not need a hidden message. She had a microphone, a stadium, a song, and an audience ready to listen. And when she asked, "Where is my husband?" the crowd understood the assignment. They reacted. They laughed. They sang. They watched. And for those few minutes, the question became part of the show. That is what live music does best. It takes a line that already exists and gives it a completely new life. So, was RAYE's "Where's My Husband" performance at Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour Night 46 something special? Yes, but perhaps not for the reason some theories suggest. It was special because RAYE demonstrated once again why she belongs on major stages. It was special because the MetLife Stadium crowd turned a performance into a shared experience. And it was special because the Romantic Tour continues to produce the kind of moments that fans immediately want to replay, discuss, and analyze. Maybe there is more to the story. Maybe RAYE will explain the moment herself. Maybe another clip will reveal additional context. Or maybe, when all the speculation fades away, the answer will remain exactly what it looked like from the beginning. A great singer performing a great song on a huge stage. And sometimes that is more than enough. Because when the lights come up, the music starts, and tens of thousands of people react together, there does not always need to be a secret behind the moment. Sometimes the moment itself is the story. RAYE brought "Where is My Husband?" to New Jersey. Bruno Mars' The Romantic Tour provided the stage. MetLife Stadium provided the crowd. And the internet provided the questions. Now the question goes to you. Did RAYE's performance feel like a playful musical moment, a theatrical statement, or something that carried a deeper meaning? Do not just watch the clip and move on. Look at the performance. Listen to the lyrics. Pay attention to the delivery. And decide for yourself. If you enjoyed this breakdown of RAYE, Bruno Mars, The Romantic Tour, and Night 46 at MetLife Stadium, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more Bruno Mars concert news and celebrity music updates, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next major moment. Because if Night 46 has already given fans something this unexpected to talk about, the next night could bring an entirely different story. And when that happens, we will be watching. But the story does not end when the performance ends. In fact, for many fans, that was the moment the real conversation began. Once the lights moved on and the concert continued, attention started shifting back to the question that had already been circulating among viewers. Why did this particular performance feel so memorable? The answer may have less to do with a secret and more to do with timing. Think about the environment RAYE was performing in. This was not a small venue. This was MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, a massive stadium packed with Bruno Mars fans who had already spent hours building anticipation for another night of the Romantic Tour. The audience came expecting a spectacle. They came expecting Bruno Mars. They came expecting the familiar songs, the choreography, the musicians, the lights, the energy, and those unpredictable moments that make every live show feel slightly different. Then RAYE entered that atmosphere with her own musical identity. And suddenly, the night had another storyline. That is why special guests are so important on major concert tours. A guest artist does not simply fill time before the headliner. The right guest can change the emotional temperature of the entire evening. RAYE brought a different energy. Her voice has a distinctive emotional quality, and her songwriting often explores relationships, loneliness, confidence, desire, frustration, and the complicated realities of modern romance. that makes her music naturally compatible with a stadium audience that is already looking for emotional moments. And Where's My Husband is almost designed to create a reaction. Even before hearing the full song, the title makes people stop. It sounds like a question. It sounds dramatic. It sounds funny. And depending on the moment, it can sound completely serious. That ambiguity is powerful, because when RAYE delivers those words in front of thousands of people, everyone can interpret them differently. One person might hear comedy. Another person might hear frustration. Someone else might hear loneliness. Another fan might simply hear a catchy line from a song. And that is exactly why the performance can generate so much discussion without necessarily containing any hidden message. Music is personal. The audience brings its own experiences into the song. And when an artist performs live, those personal interpretations become part of the atmosphere. That is what happened in New Jersey. The performance became bigger than the recording. The crowd reaction became part of the story. The cameras became part of the story. The social media clips became part of the story. And suddenly, people who were not even inside MetLife Stadium could experience the moment through short videos online. But here is where viewers should be careful. A short concert clip can be powerful, but it rarely contains the entire context. You may see RAYE singing one line. You may see a reaction from the crowd. You may see a facial expression. But you may not see what happened immediately before or after. That missing context can completely change how a moment is interpreted. This is especially true when celebrities are involved. Fans naturally connect dots. They remember previous interviews. They remember collaborations. They remember backstage photos. They remember rumors. And when a celebrity performs a lyric that seems connected to relationships, fans can immediately begin searching for a connection. But connection is not confirmation. That distinction matters. There is currently no reason to turn a playful or theatrical lyric into a confirmed celebrity relationship story. What we can say is much more interesting anyway. RAYE delivered a memorable live performance. The audience reacted strongly, and the moment became one of the talking points surrounding Bruno Mars' Night 46 show. That is enough to make it newsworthy. And there is another layer to consider. Bruno Mars has built an enormous fan community around the experience of his live performances. Fans do not simply follow the set list. They follow changes. They follow outfits. They follow guest appearances. They follow audience interactions. They compare different nights. They look for songs that return after being absent. They notice changes in arrangements. They watch for special moments. That is why the Romantic Tour has become more than a series of concerts. It has become an ongoing conversation. Every night can create a new clip. Every city can produce a new viral moment. And every guest can add another piece to the story. Night 46 in New Jersey was another example. RAYE's presence gave fans something unexpected to discuss. And when Where's My Husband entered the conversation, the performance immediately gained an extra layer of curiosity. But there is something else that makes this moment interesting. The song itself plays with the idea of searching for romantic fulfillment. That theme is universal. Almost everyone understands what it feels like to wonder where a relationship is going, whether love is coming, whether someone is serious, or whether the person you imagined in your future actually exists. That is why a phrase like, "Where is my husband?" can make an entire stadium react. It is exaggerated. It is theatrical. But underneath the humor is a familiar human emotion, the desire to find connection. And that is one reason RAYE's music connects with audiences. She can make something personal feel universal. A private emotion becomes a public performance. A relationship question becomes a stadium chant. And a simple lyric becomes a moment thousands of people remember. Now imagine watching that moment as a Bruno Mars fan. You may have arrived at MetLife Stadium expecting a Bruno Mars concert. You may have been thinking about Locked Out of Heaven, Uptown Funk, That's What I Like, Just the Way You Are, or the newer material from the Romantic era. Then RAYE appears. Suddenly, the night expands. You are not just watching Bruno Mars anymore. You are experiencing a lineup that brings multiple musical personalities into one massive event. That variety is part of what makes modern stadium tours so powerful. And RAYE proved that she could hold the attention of the crowd on a stage built for one of the world's biggest pop performers. That achievement should not be overlooked, because performing in a stadium is different from performing in a theater. The audience is farther away. Every movement needs to communicate across a huge space. Every vocal phrase needs to carry. Every transition matters. And every artist has to compete with the scale of the production. RAYE did not disappear inside that scale. She became part of it. That is probably the biggest reason fans are still talking about her performance. Not because the lyric necessarily contained a secret, but because she made the moment feel alive. And live music is ultimately about that feeling. You can listen to a song through headphones. You can watch the official music video. You can stream the studio version. But none of those experiences can completely reproduce what happens when an artist performs directly in front of a massive crowd. The sound hits differently. The audience changes the energy. The artist reacts to the audience. And sometimes the audience reacts back in a way the performer never expected. That feedback loop creates spontaneous moments. Those are the moments that fans remember. Those are the moments that become clips. And those are the moments that eventually become part of a tour's mythology. RAYE's "Where Is My Husband?" performance may become one of those moments, not necessarily because of who the husband is, but because the question itself became memorable. There is something almost cinematic about it. A huge stadium, a major concert, powerful vocalist, provocative